Sarah was just 20 years old, but life had made her older in many ways. Since she turned 18, she had worked as a cleaner at Crown Heights Plaza, a tall, shining building full of businesses, luxury offices, and polished people who barely noticed her. Every morning, she wore her plain uniform, tied her worn shoes tight, and walked to work with her head high. This morning was no different, or so she thought. As Sarah neared the entrance of the plaza, a sleek black car crept up behind her. She didn't turn around. People like her didn't bother to look at fancy cars. They never stopped for cleaners. But this car stopped. And then, without warning, the driver hit the gas. The tires screeched over a large puddle right beside the curb. Water exploded, muddy and cold, soaking Sarah from head to toe. She gasped and froze. Her body trembled, not from the cold, but from the shock. Behind the wheel of the car was Jessica Lane, a famous influencer. She had over 5 million followers on social media, wore expensive clothes every day, and made her living by showing off a perfect life. Today, she had her phone in one hand, a coffee in the other, and a cruel smirk on her face. As she sped past, Jessica rolled down her window and laughed. "Clean yourself, poor cleaner," she shouted, then disappeared into the traffic. People nearby turned to look. Some whispered, some frowned, but no one came to help. No one said a word. Sarah stood there, soaked, her clothes clinging to her skin, mud streaked across her face. But she didn't cry. She didn't scream. She didn't even move for a long moment. Then, quietly, she reached into her bag, pulled out a small towel she always carried, and wiped her face. Her hands shook, but her back stayed straight. She walked the rest of the way into the building without a single word. But someone had seen it all. From across the street, inside a quiet coffee shop, stood Daniel Carter, a man in his early 30s, dressed in a simple jacket, holding a cup of tea. He wasn't flashy. He didn't like attention. But Daniel wasn't just anyone. He was the owner of Crown Heights Plaza and several buildings in the city. Yet no one in the plaza knew his face. He liked to walk unnoticed. As he looked out the window that morning, Daniel had seen everything. The splash, the laughter, the silence that followed. But what struck him most was not Jessica's cruelty. It was Sarah's grace. She reminded him of someone, his mother. Years ago, his mother had been a cleaner too. She had worked long hours to raise him, always keeping her chin up, even when the world looked down on her. Seeing Sarah's quiet strength brought those memories back like lightning. Without hesitation, Daniel walked to the counter, ordered a warm breakfast sandwich, and handed the barista a note. He said softly, "Please give this to the young cleaner who just walked in." That afternoon, Sarah found a sandwich waiting for her in the break room, wrapped neatly with a handwritten note taped on top. It read, "Keep going. Someone sees you." There was no name, no hint of who sent it. But Sarah sat down and stared at the note for a long time. Something about those words felt like a hug. She took a bite of the sandwich. Warm, soft, kind, just like the message. It was the first time that day anyone had been kind to her. But this was only the beginning. Over the next few days, Sarah began to notice little things. A brand new pair of gloves tucked into her locker. A hot drink placed beside her cleaning cart. A small notebook filled with encouraging quotes and hand-drawn flowers on the corners of the pages. She didn't know who was behind it, but she felt seen, valued, like someone was quietly walking beside her, cheering her on. Sarah kept her head down and her spirit up. She came in early, cleaned with care. She didn't let that puddle or that insult change her. She stayed kind, stayed true. Her supervisors started noticing her hard work. Some co-workers did too, but not all of them were happy. A few grew jealous. They started whispering behind her back. Some said she was trying to act better than everyone else. One cleaner even messed with her schedule, making it seem like she had skipped an entire floor. Sarah didn't argue. She calmly showed her logbook, explained what she had cleaned, even offered to redo the whole floor. Her honesty and humility silenced the lies. Her supervisors saw her clearly now, not just as a cleaner, but as someone with potential. And then one day a letter arrived. It was placed in her locker. Clean, Official with her name on it. Sarah opened it slowly, hands trembling. It was an acceptance letter. A full scholarship to a top hospitality management school, one of the best in the country. The letter ended with a sentence that made her eyes blur with tears. Your future deserves more than mopping floors. I believe in you. Sarah clutched the paper to her chest and cried for the first time in weeks. Not from pain, from hope. She didn't know that Daniel had written that letter, that he had arranged a scholarship, that he'd been watching all along, not to judge, but to lift her higher. And as she began to dream again, to believe in something greater, the world was watching too, because what Jessica did that morning was caught on camera, and that video was about to change everything. It started with a quiet click. One camera, one video, one moment. The security camera above the entrance of Crown Heights Plaza had caught everything. The sleek black car, the puddle, the splash, and the cruel laughter from Jessica Lane's open window. For days, the footage sat unnoticed in the system. But someone, maybe a tech guy, maybe a curious staff member, found it. They watched it once, then again. Then they saved it. And finally, they uploaded it. It landed first on a small local forum with the title, Rich Influencer Soaks Cleaner Girl with Mud, Laughs About It. Within hours, it was on social media. Within a day, it had gone viral. People were shocked, outraged, heartbroken. The video was short, just under 30 seconds, but it told a complete story. Sarah walking humbly to work, the black car splashing her, Jessica's laughter echoing through the window, Sarah standing there, soaked and silent, then calmly wiping her face with a towel. The comments poured in like a storm. This broke my heart. That girl has more dignity than any influencer I've ever seen. Who is she? Someone find her. She deserves better. Jessica Lane should be ashamed. Jessica's name started trending for all the wrong reasons. Her past came crawling out of shadows. Screenshots of old rude tweets, leaked audio mocking waiters. Even stories from ex-staff saying she was a nightmare behind closed doors. Sponsors started backing out. Brands pulled her ads. One by one, her partnerships disappeared. Her follower count dropped by the thousands, then by the millions. And while the internet raged, Sarah had no idea. She was still waking up early, still cleaning office floors, still going to night classes, using her scholarship to build a future. She had no idea the world was watching her story. She didn't even know her name had been mentioned. But Jessica knew. The storm had reached her front door, and it was not gentle. Her father, a stern businessman who had always demanded perfection from his family, was furious. He called her into his office. "You've humiliated us," he said coldly. "Do you realize how much money we've lost because of your behavior?" Jessica tried to defend herself. It was a joke. I didn't mean to splash her. But her father slammed the table. "Then why did you laugh?" Jessica had no answer. That night, under pressure from her father and her management team, Jessica recorded a public apology. She sat in front of a plain white wall. No filters, no makeup, no designer clothes. Her eyes were red. Her voice cracked. "I want to publicly apologize to the young woman I hurt. Her name is Sarah. What I did was cruel, immature, and I'm deeply sorry." She continued, saying she had tried to reach out, but hadn't been able to connect. She asked for forgiveness. She promised to change. But the internet wasn't ready to forgive her. Not yet. Comments flooded in again. Too little, too late. Why now? Because you lost your sponsors. Let's hear from Sarah. Back at Crown Heights Plaza, Sarah walked into the break room just as a group of coworkers huddled around the phone. They were watching something. When Sarah stepped closer, they looked at her, then silently turned the screen toward her. It was Jessica's apology. Sarah blinked, watched, listened. She didn't speak. When the video ended, no one said anything. She turned, picked up her cleaning gloves, and quietly went back to work. She wasn't angry. She wasn't proud. She just wanted peace. That evening, her phone buzzed. A simple message. "Meet me at the front entrance. 6 p.m. No pressure. Just come." It was from an unknown number. Sarah hesitated. Her shift was over. She could walk away. But something told her to go. At exactly 6 p.m., she stepped outside the plaza. The sky was orange with the setting sun. The puddle was gone. The street was dry. And standing there, in a simple black coat, was Daniel Carter. For a moment, Sarah didn't recognize him. He wasn't dressed like a billionaire. He looked ordinary, kind. Daniel smiled gently. "You probably don't know me," he said, "but I've known you for a while. I own this building, and I've been watching." Sarah's eyes widened. "Watching?" He nodded. "Not to judge, to learn, to remember what strength really looks like." She stayed silent, unsure what to say. Daniel handed her a small envelope. "This is for you," he said softly. "Your graduation gift." Inside was a letter and a key. The letter read, "Congratulations, Sarah. This key opens a fully furnished apartment close to your school. You won't have to commute anymore. You deserve comfort. You deserve peace. And you deserve a fresh start." Sarah's hand shook. "Why me?" she asked in a whisper. Daniel's voice was calm. "Because the strongest people are often the ones no one sees. You reminded me of my mother and of who I want to be." Tears slipped down Sarah's cheeks, not from sadness, but from being seen, from being valued, from finally being treated like she mattered. The next morning, Sarah stood in her new apartment, holding the key Daniel had given her. It was small, cozy, the kind of place where the windows let in just enough sunlight to make a cold morning feel warm. The furniture was simple but beautiful. A soft bed, a reading lamp, a clean desk, and in the kitchen sat a welcome basket with a note. "This is your home now. Study, rest, dream big." Daniel. Sarah stood there for a long time, just taking it in. No one had ever done something like this for her before. For years, she had walked with her head down, thinking she was invisible. But now she knew. Someone had seen her all along. That afternoon, she went back to work. Same building, same people, but something was different. When she stepped onto the VIP floor, the one where only top executives and special guests went, heads turned, not in judgment, but in quiet respect. A few nodded. One even smiled. Her new uniform fit better. Her steps felt lighter. And when she wiped down the polished tables or swept the pristine floors, she didn't feel small anymore. She felt seen. Later that day, as she was finishing her shift, she returned to the break room and found another envelope waiting in her locker. It was from Daniel. Inside was a handwritten letter. "You've inspired me more than you'll ever know. You reminded me that greatness doesn't always wear a suit or drive a luxury car. Sometimes it carries a mop and keeps going when no one says thank you. I don't know what the future holds for you, Sarah, but I know it's bright. And when you're ready, there's a place for you in leadership here, not as a cleaner, but as a teacher, a guide, someone who shows others how to work with heart." Daniel. Sarah stared at the words. Her hands trembled slightly, but her heart was steady. This wasn't just a job anymore. This was a calling. Over the next year, she worked harder than ever, but not just at cleaning. She completed her hospitality management program with honors. She volunteered to train new staff. She gave little speeches during morning briefings, encouraging others with quiet words. She became a leader, not because she demanded respect, but because she had earned it. And then, almost exactly 1 year from that rainy morning, a grand gala was held at Crown Heights Plaza. The building had changed in that time. Staff were happier. Guests were treated better. And kindness, once rare, had become part of the company culture. At the gala, Sarah stood on stage in a beautiful navy dress. Her name was called for a special award, Outstanding Contribution to Excellence in Service. The crowd clapped. Some stood, and sitting in the front row, smiling with pride, was Daniel Carter. Sarah walked up to the microphone. She looked out at the crowd and took a breath. "A year ago," she began, "I stood outside this building, soaked in mud, feeling like I was nothing. But someone saw me. And when one person sees you, really sees you, it can change your whole world." She paused. People leaned in, listening. I used to believe that life was about surviving, but now I know that the mud we walked through can lead us to a light we never dreamed we deserved. The crowd clapped. Some wiped tears from their eyes. After the ceremony, Daniel met her at the entrance, the same place it had all begun. He didn't say anything at first, just walked beside her in silence. Sarah reached into her clutch, pulled out the ribbon from her award, and gently placed it on the ledge by the door. Daniel looked at her, puzzled. She smiled softly. This is where the world tried to bury me, but it's also where I learned to rise. He nodded, understanding. Then he offered her his arm, and together they walked away from the building. Not as boss and worker, but as equals, as two people who had changed each other's lives. The internet eventually moved on from the drama. Jessica Lange faded into the shadows of forgotten fame. Without kindness, her popularity couldn't survive. But Sarah, her story kept growing. It wasn't loud, it wasn't flashy, but it was strong, steady, beautiful, because kindness, even when given in silence, echoes longer than cruelty ever could. And if you take nothing else from this story, let it be this. Sometimes the world will throw mud at you, laugh at you, ignore you. But if you hold your head high, if you keep walking, someone will see you. Someone will believe in you. And just maybe that someone is already watching. So keep going, because you deserve to shine. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Because stories like Sarah's remind us all that resilience matters. And every soul, no matter how humble, deserves a chance to rise.